Alright, so here comes the twist for this entire project. We are going to recreate the logo and the font of the lettering. However, instead of this saying Fanta, you're going to write your name. So that way, if we were to input it into an art show, the originality clause, copyright, and all of that doesn't apply. And so what I want to do is first, right, I have to understand how much of the can is taken by just these letters, right? And so I realize some of you have long names, some of you have short names, and so you may have to abbreviate your name. You may have to go with a nickname of yours. You may have to go with your last name. You may have to go with your middle name. It's all sorts of things, but it's the size that matters. Look, it takes up the majority of this cup, and so for me, I really need to make sure that whatever I do, I take up the majority. And so I need to turn my paper, and so I'm going to start sketching this out. And I'm just going to mimic the style of lettering. Now, what if my letter's not on the can, right? Well, that's when you just have to kind of take guesses. So I'm borrowing pieces of this F for my E, which I'm lucky, right? There's some qualities that match, so I'm just kind of flipping this. Now, an L. There's not an L on Fanta, but you see this kind of here, so I'm going to kind of borrow that kind of shape. And again, sketching, staying really light. I, for the I, I'm going to borrow this little part of my N, that N right there. I think that will kind of work. And then for the dot, I'm just going to kind of make it up. But I would see that maybe that might work. I'm lucky the A's here, so that's not an issue. Now the S is entirely, I'm just kind of, at this point, what do I think the S might look like based upon the letters that I see here? So I want to make sure it takes up a good amount. I think it does. It does have this kind of white bubbly line that goes around it, so I'm going to kind of mimic that. And then now the circle, right? So I have the leaf shape. So obviously I have some things I'm going to fix, but that's what happens when we draw. Alright, and so there you go. Now, this flavor says orange. So I can leave it out, or I can challenge myself to maybe write my last name here in the regular print. And so I'm just going to kind of do that, and I'll turn these into bubble letters on the next video.